instructs LTAT and FELDA to submit full performance reports. Malaysian visa application services for Bangladeshi migrant workers to be terminated. Good evening and happy International Women's Day. I am Olivia Nicholas and this is Malaysia Tonight. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said the government remains firm and consistent in protecting the rights of women in this country. In a post on Facebook in conjunction with the International Women's Day celebration today, Datuk Seri Anwar said the government would also ensure that the relevant policies are drawn up to ensure that every aspect of women's rights continue to be upheld. The Prime Minister said the International Women's Day is celebrated to appreciate the role and responsibility of women in building civilization and society and to ensure that they are given the rightful place to contribute to the sustainable development of society. Datuk Seri Anwar also took the opportunity to express appreciation to his wife Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Aziza Wan Ismail for standing together in the long struggle to reform the system and rectify shortcomings. International Women's Day is celebrated on the 8th of March every year to recognize women's achievements in various fields and advocate for their rights. Her Majesty Raja Zarith Sofia, Queen of Malaysia, today called on the people to show appreciation and respect towards women and treat them with gentleness and love. In a post on the official Facebook page of His Majesty Sultan Ibrahim, King of Malaysia, Raja Zarith Sofia wished all women in Malaysia a happy International Women's Day 2024. Her Majesty has urged everyone to appreciate and respect women, treating them with kindness and love, as they too contribute to the progress of the nation. In line with this year's theme for Malaysia's celebration of International Women's Day, Women Elevated, Nation Excels, the Queen conveyed her deepest appreciation to all women who diligently fulfill various responsibilities, whether as wives, mothers, or workers across different fields. The culture of stereotype towards women in working sector must be eradicated to increase their involvement in the sector, especially in the digital industry, which recorded only 35% of involvement among women for 2022. Deputy Communications Minister Teo Ni Cheng said new narrative needs to be created to strengthen and encourage their involvement in the industry.
Apabila kita ada inclusivity, maksudnya pelibatan daripada semua semua gender pun termasuk, semua kaum pun termasuk, semua culture pun ada, ini akan membantu kami untuk buat satu keputusan yang lebih kondusif dan juga satu keputusan yang lebih baik. Jadi saya rasa sebab tu saya sangat-sangat pentingnya lah, dan juga saya sebut dalam ucapan saya ada inspire inclusion. Bagaimana kita nak menggalakkan masyarakat kita secara keseluruhan, tak kira lah syarikat, tempat kerja, parlimen, public places, bagaimana kita boleh menjadi lebih mesra keluarga, mesra women.
She said this after attending the 2024 International Women's Day celebration in Kuala Lumpur, organised by Deputy Communications Minister Office with My Creative Venture. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim today directed the Armed Forces Fund Board LTAT and the Federal Land Development Authority FELDA to submit full reports on their performance in the 2022 Auditor General's report. Met by reporters after performing Friday's prayers at Surau Amaniyah in Putrajaya today, Datuk Seri Anwar, who is also the Finance Minister, said a notice for explanation has been handed to the two agencies to provide a full report.
Tapi kita nak tentukan ada laporan lengkap supaya beberapa kelemahan diperbaiki Dan kalau ada apa-apa yang terlibat yang agak kurang baik, kita paksa ambil tindakan. Yeah. I've asked for a report. So we gave them a notice, at least in 2 weeks, to give the full report submission, and I think the Cabinet will have to deliberate on it.
The Auditor General's report on the 2022 Federal Agency financial statement presented in the Dewan Rakyat on Wednesday showed that Felda suffered an after-tax loss of 1.005 billion ringgit. The report also revealed that LTAT reserves have recorded negative balances for 3 consecutive years since 2020, namely 376 million ringgit, 285 million ringgit in 2021 and 338 million ringgit in 2022. On another matter, Dato Sri Anwar said Malaysia needs to be bold in making changes not only at the level of ministers and politicians but also the people as a whole. In a post on his Facebook page, the Prime Minister said all Malaysians have a role and responsibility to put this country on a higher level of development from now on. He also said that no matter what language is spoken, Malaysians, while respecting the diversity of races, cultures and religions, must never forget their role in uplifting the dignity and status of Malaysia. Dato Sri Anwar also urged those who are on duty to continue their noble effort in fighting and working to carve the country's name on the world stage. In addition, he called for Malaysians to make this country even greater, which is proud to be inherited by the nation's next generations. Services of Malaysian visa application agencies that handle visa applications for Bangladeshi migrant workers will be terminated. Home Minister Dato Sri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail said this was because the e-visa application could now be applied directly through the Immigration Department My Visa portal. Dato Sri Saifuddin also said the decision was made after his ministry alongside the Human Resources Ministry took into consideration the public peace elements as well as labour needs in Malaysia.
Keputusan ini membolehkan kerajaan menilai keberkesanan inisiatif-inisiatif yang telah dilaksanakan dan mengukur secara tepat keperluan tenaga kerja asing dalam negara sebelum membuat pertimbangan keperluan pembukaan kuota penggajian pekerja asing.
Briefing reporters at the Home Ministry today, he also said the enabling of direct e-visa applications for Bangladeshi workers would facilitate employers in utilizing their quotas, with the process expected to take 1 to 2 working days. Dato Sri Saifuddin last week reportedly said the quotas for active foreign workers would be voided if visas with reference were not used by the 31st of March. He also said the government would not allow foreign workers into the country under the active quotas starting on the 1st of June. The East Coast Rail Link ECRL is anticipated to contribute a 3.8% increase to Malaysia's gross domestic product by 2047 by enhancing trade, boosting tourism and stimulating regional development. Investment, Trade and Industry Minister Tengku Datuk Sri Zafrul Abdul Aziz said the ECRL is also poised to be game changer for the country, linking Malaysia more closely to the Pan-Asia railway network and enhancing connectivity with ASEAN and Euro-Asia regions.
The ECRL represents Malaysia's significant integration into a broader network of trade and cultural exchange as well. The project, its amount is large, it's about 75 billion ringgit. It's more than just a rail link cutting across Kelantan, Terengganu, Pahang and Selangor. Actually, it's a cornerstone for economic growth and social progress.
He pointed out that by facilitating quicker coast-to-coast movement and offering an alternate maritime gateway for cargo and passenger flow, the ECRL is also poised to slash cargo vessel travel time by a significant 2.5 days between the Port Klang and Kuantan ports. As of February 2024, he also said that the project is 62% complete, with each state's alignment progressing steadily towards the finish line. Malaysia is determined to expand the country's trade linkages by ensuring the successful implementation of the ASEAN-China Free Trade Area, ACFTA, and the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, RCEP. Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry, MITI Secretary General Dato' Hairi Yahri Yaakob said free trade agreements have been instrumental in facilitating businesses and ensuring that supply chains operate smoothly across the region. The ACFTA has been the cornerstone of ASEAN-China economic relations, and Malaysia has been committed to elevating the ACFTA to ensure that it remains comprehensive, relevant and mutually beneficial to all members.
ACFTA, which is very, very important. ACFTA was in like more than 10 years ago, and now we are upgrading the ASEAN-China FTA to include other areas as well, so that hopefully that we can have greater, economic integration with China. RCEP is another very mega FTA, which we have signed about 3 years ago, when it entered into force for Malaysia. So these are the major free trade agreement that is where Malaysia and China are members of.
He said this in his keynote address at the soft launch of Malaysia China Summit 2024, MCS 2024 today. In enhancing industrial collaboration, Dato' Hairil Yahri affirmed the government's commitment to bolstering industry's capabilities, thereby reinforcing Malaysia's pivotal role in global supply and value chains. To solidify Malaysia's leading position and strengthen the ecosystem, the new Industrial Master Plan NIMP 2030 has set a clear direction for the development of strategic manufacturing sectors in Malaysia, including the semiconductor industry. He noted that the NIMP 2030 outlines strategies to attract globally competitive wafer fabrication companies to set up local operations in Malaysia. The Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry, MITI, along with Malaysia Investment Development Authority, MIDA, to mobilize a special team to help 550 Goodyear factory personnel following its closure after 52 years of operation. MITI and MIDA have mobilized a specialized team to facilitate job placements, as well as offering upskilling and reskilling programs for the affected employees. In a statement, MIDA said has actively engaged with the Social Security Organisation, SOCSO, and the Labour Department through the newly formed Invest Malaysia Facilitation Centre to facilitate job placement assistance for employees from various sectors. It added the collaborative effort underscores the potential for similarly effective support mechanism to be extended to those affected by the closure, demonstrating a committed approach to workforce transition and resilience. Additionally, MITI and MIDA said the intervention is a statement to the unwavering commitment to supporting the local workforce. Goodyear, alongside its shareholders, has been in close coordination with the government well before this decision was publicised. The scheme Pelombong Kecil SPK, or Small Scale Mining Scheme, was introduced by the Pahang government in 2022 to legalise mineral mining operations on private land across the state. Menteri Besar Datuk Seri Wan Rosli Wan Ismail said this scheme currently has 56 participants in Kacau Tiu, Lipis, and has generated returns amounting to 2.5 million ringgit to the state government's coffers. Dato' Sri Wan Rosli said SPK was also introduced to help landowners who extract minerals without being exploited by the middleman or buyers and earn promising returns.
Kerajaan negeri akan bagi kerjasama yang baik kepada mereka. Dan ini lebih dikatakan win-win situation lah. Maknanya tidak berlaku, harga pun akan jadi lebih stabil. Mereka mendapat pulangan yang baik, kerajaan negeri dapat hasil dan ianya dapat dipasarkan dengan cara lebih sistematik dan teratur berbanding sebelum inilah.